And so, where would someone get started less than six figures? And again, y'all, this is not advice. These are just thought that you to consider, right? A lot of times, and so where would someone get started less than six figures? And again, y'all, this is not advice. These are just thought that you to consider, right? A lot of times, I say start with the basics.
Mhm.
And a lot of times that's yourself. You need to understand what you think about money.
Yeah.
What do you want to use it for?
Mhm.
You really have to identify your fears first. And is that fear impeding you from reaching the goal? Because honestly, psychologically, that's where a lot of people need to start.
Yeah.
I see something on the news and like, oh my gosh, I cannot do that. Or oh my gosh, let me call my stockbroker. Sell, sell, sell. The world is coming to an end. And I'm like, dude, like you don't even have that position in your portfolio. What are we talking about? You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So you need that voice of reason sometimes with you. So honestly, it's not the financial I think is people should start with. It's the mental capacity. But then there are tools you can use to start small. Because guess what? Compound interest works. 10% of 1,000 is not the same as 10% of 1,000,000. But guess what? It's the principle that you can still employ that helps you create a building block to
Mhm.
start and grow.
And I'm glad
Don't
that you
count
mentioned,
what you have, just use that.
can you expound on that a little bit more? Because people hear compound interest or start now, but again, they're like, but I only have $100. That can't
Okay.
do nothing. So I'm not even gonna start. I'm gonna wait until I have 50,000 or 100,000. Like, how would you even, what would you say to someone who has that mindset?
Yes, I love it. So, do we know any people that own sports teams? Now,
Own
y'all.
sports team?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so maybe you don't know anybody personally,
Mhm.
but most people know sports and they know that they'll get this analogy.
Okay.
There are not many people who have enough wealth to own the sports team outright. They have fractional shares, right? They have partners. Everybody doesn't, and everybody has their percentage 10% owner, 20% owner, and it creates the 100% ownership of the team.
Yeah.
The same with investment. Say I only have 100%. You can buy a fractional share
Mm.
of an investment and you can allow it to grow in such a manner that when you have more, then you can do more, with it. You can further diversify and all those kind of things. But you just start with what you have and you allow it to grow. And then when it makes that 2%, you got $102, you say yippee. You don't eat the seed. And when I'm at speaking engagement and they bring me in, I usually have visuals. And one of the visuals I have are the seeds.
Yeah.
A lot of times we don't have generational wealth because we eat the seed.
Ooh, so can you say that again? Say that
A
again.
lot of times we don't have generational wealth. We don't have advancement in our retirement funds. We don't have you know, uh, in our play investment funds because we eat the seed. Like, oh my gosh, it grew $2, it grew $2,000, it grew $25,000, and we take it out immediately and we eat it. We go buy a Louis Vuitton or we go to Bali or the things that we do because we love it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it, y'all. Live, work hard, play hard. I'm a big proponent. But for some pots, you just got to let it sit and grow. I tell people all the time, like, we are not deep frying up in here. This is all crock pot cooking, okay? You got to let it simmer. You got to let it simmer. And going back to the original analogy, if you put the seed in the ground, one seed, it can sprout a tree that has many fruit.
Yeah.
Not just one orange. You plant an orange seed in the ground, the tree is going to sprout, but it's going to have oranges.
Mm-hmm.
That's the compounding effect of interest. But if we take one orange and we eat the fruit, and then we gulp the seeds down, and that
It's
sounds
gonna
weird,
start
but
over.
that's what we do, y'all.
Yeah.
If we take a fruit and we eat all the seeds too, we don't have anything to replant. to
Mm-hmm.
invest. And if you want to get that tree with many oranges, you have to plant the
Yes.
seed and leave it until it sprouts.
I'm so
And
glad
then you
that
have many oranges, and then you can take them.
that
Okay?